Pisces, how you doing? So a few channeled Akashic Records, channeling for a start, and then tarot reading. Let the juices flow, let the flavours flood out is what I'm hearing. The flavour and the flavouring and flavouring. Some of you are adding flavours to something that could be of juicing. I do apologise for the shouting. But something to do with like let the juices flow. Some of you could be juicing and stuff like this, and physical like oranges, apples and lemons. Some of you could be called Lemon or Rob, okay, but I'm hearing like lemons, like someone that's sucking on a lemon. Or like but they keep saying like juices, let the juices flow, and feeling very creative. Creative writing is also what I'm hearing, like creative writing, or writing a novel, or writing something down. But I keep hearing like I'm feeling very creative, creation. They're all saying a master as well of something, but they're saying like I'm mastering something, I'm going for a master's degree. Like some of you, like this is college and things like that you're going to. If it isn't you, it can also be your partner or someone around you, but I'm definitely hearing though that someone's like going for a master's degree or a degree of psychology. Some of you are interested in psychology, or you're just diving into the mind or something like the psychology. Is what I'm hearing. I'm also hearing that someone is psychoanalyzing someone, or someone is psychopathic, or someone is telepathic. Telepathic, psychopathic, that'll be every Pisces that says that. That'll be everybody else that goes, yeah, I'm psychic. But like I'm hearing psychic, telepathic. I'm also hearing psychology. But I'm also hearing psychoanalyzing, also psycho killer. So some of you listening to Talking Heads, or like someone's a sociopath or something like that. Sociopath, psychology, sociopath, psychopath, anybody, not Steve, this is me, but a sociopath, psychopath, Steve, Sarah, Sassy, anybody beginning with S. I'm also hearing George, Sal, I'm also hearing Sal, or George, the George. Okay, so that might be the George Hotel, so that is a prediction of Robbie. There you go, I'm sorry. Okay, I have to explain myself a lot of the time. So through the predictions of what happened through Drop Dead Fred in the film, there was actually someone in my town called Fred that actually did pass. I've said it throughout the weeklies. There's also 4 people that have died in my town. One of them was called Robbie owned the George pub, so some of you might be going to a boozer or a pub, or you might witness a funeral for a lot of you, but we had a seance twice, Pisces, when we did your reading in the past. But something here is around probable funeral that could be coming up for a lot of you. It could be around a pub, could be someone called Rob or Robbie. Okay, but yeah, I'm definitely hearing like someone's like let the juices flood out, let the flavour flood out. So something around juicing, or like I said, juices like oranges, lemons. But I'm also picking up like vaping and different juices and stuff like that. I don't know why I keep seeing like a lot of colours, or someone that's pulling ahead on a pint or something like that, but like let it flood out, like let someone floods out, floods in, floods out, floods in, floods out. So I don't know if there's anything to do with another water sign or water, or someone just all flooding in and everything all of a sudden just comes crashing in. Like hopefully it's not like another tornado that happened before when I predicted that. I really do hope not. But they're saying that something all comes flooding in, crashing in. Now I don't know what that's going to be before I start causing fear into people, so let me just find out what this is for. Something around a Scorpio. Something comes flushing in and crashing in. Now this could well be where I'm also picking up crash, like a crash course, or like a like some people that work for the NHS and things like that, and like crash, like someone. Oh, okay, they're saying. Oh, okay, whoa, whoa. Now these are other people that work for the NHS, or there's someone that is in hospital with a heart attack. I do apologise, please do not freak out, okay? The last thing that I ever want to do is freak everybody out when I do these messages, okay? But I am hearing a crash course, which can be in something, right? Taking a crash course in something to speed your way through it, okay? But if any of you are out there driving and speeding, then be very careful, okay? Just be very careful, because I was going to say to speed my way through it, but I'll keep picking up that someone's very urgent and is speeding their way. So I don't know if you're going to get a speed ticket or something like this, but just be very careful in your cars. I just don't want to put this in people's heads so they're thinking about that, because if anything ever happens in life, because it's preordained, I always feel that something, if it does happen, it happens regardless of whether I say it or not, right? So those messages are there. Obviously, if people are drinking and driving and stuff like that, then obviously that's no doing that, right? But I keep picking up that someone, this is to do with a pub or a boozer or someone that may decide to drink or drive from a pub. So don't do those kind of things, but this is very difficult because, like I said, you might witness people that are, I mean, trust me, I know people that are Pisces and they drink like a fish, right? So, you know, they also drive maybe, so be very careful around people that drink and drive, okay? I know people that are Pisces that do this, okay, so this may not be related to you people that are watching, but somebody here drinks and drives, and trust me, I know 3 Pisces that actually drink and drive. So I'm not saying you guys, I'm just saying that if you are not a person that drinks and you're abstinent, then be careful around drinking and driving. Those people may not be watching this, but I'm putting that message out there anyway because it was things like the Prince Philip thing and so on and so forth, that these events in life can be happening and you witness it, okay? So I'm hearing that there is something around witnessing something, like I am a witness to something that may have happened in the past, that some of you get called up for jury service. Okay, so I'm hearing that I'm being called up, I'm being called, and I'm on call. So that's what I'm saying. Some of you, like I said, you are like the person that is on call that goes into like an A&E unit or something like that, and we are called in order to go over to the hospital. Now, if any of you where there is someone that is seriously ill in hospital, there may be something around like having to go to visit the hospital, which would be someone that you know that's already in the hospital. Okay, now some of you here, this would be where you are going to, or you work in a hospital and you are on call, and these are kind of things that you are dealing with, like which would be A&E unit of people that come in with drunk and disorderly and so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm also picking up people that are investigating into crime, like the crime unit or a crime scene is what I'm hearing, like people that do things that are like I said, people that investigate psychology, blah blah blah, but then they're also interested in law, so like a law degree, like lawyers, or the name Laura, or lawyers, or somebody interested in a lawyer, Laura. I'm hearing I'm interested in someone called Laura, or lawyer, Laura. That's been coming up for quite some time. Laura. Okay, but like a law degree or someone that is in hospital, because I'm picking up on different messages, Pisces, that are in like investigations, like police, all these kind of things, drinking, driving for somebody that's already in hospital that could well be ill, where the family are called over to the person that's in hospital because there may be a surgery or something like that. I'm definitely picking up on like surgical, anything medical or surgical. So like I said here, I get different messages at the same time that relate to the same thing, and it's difficult for me to work them out because some of you it's a visit to the hospital, some of you it's a work to the hospital, some of you it is where people are investigating into a crime scene and something that could have happened, and you guys are investigating into law degree or this kind of thing. Someone of Laura might be visiting someone that is in hospital, that is to do with the rounds, like somebody being physically ill in hospital, and somebody goes over to see this person that is not very well, that is in hospital. Okay, so I don't know if that's a friend or a sibling or like your partner or something like that. I really don't know. Okay, but that's a message there for you guys. That is something around going to the hospital in order to be able to. For me, I've got 2 actually coming up this month, but we are dealing with a weekly. But channel messages can never really predict of the time. But I'm definitely picking up that like hospitals, so a lot of hospital visits and stuff like that, checkups, all these kind of things. So that's kind of there for you, Pisces. What else am I getting for Pisces? Creativity, feeling very creative, like creative hand artwork. Feeling very. I'm also hearing like someone feels very emotional. Feels very emotional and using their emotions for creative. Okay, they're saying that someone's using their emotions. I don't know if this is to manipulate somebody or something. I'm going to use your emotions. You'll have to watch the Aquarius reading where. Okay, for people that haven't found this channel, they don't really understand about tarot, really. Okay, your karma is something that you can never get rid of, right? You can never avoid it, ever, right? And if it doesn't come in the form of something, it comes in the form around Scorpio, but change. So it comes in the form of different things. So it'll be around Like if you've got a lesson to learn, right, it won't come, say you'll think that it's your partner, but then all of a sudden it isn't, it's your mother. And if it isn't your mother, then it's your brother. And if it isn't your brother, then it's your father, or it's your sibling, or it's your ex. But whichever way it is, that when I do readings and when I do tarot and also channeling, it comes up in that form of, so that's things that you can't avoid. Okay, so that big time come out for Aquarius, okay, where it ended up being that something already sorts itself out, and then all of a sudden, if it isn't one thing, it's another, right? So things accumulate with, right, okay, everything's going okay now, and then all of a sudden it really isn't. And in the Aquarius reading, they have a lot to do, you'll have to watch it. It was a lot to do with the Nine of Wands that ended up coming up. Okay, so I don't know if you've got anything around Taurus. Okay, you were actually in the Aquarius reading, so you're going to know Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, North Node, and in Vedic you're probably an Aquarian anyway. So, you know, really kind of like look for those signs if you're a part patron of. I said to people, it's very important because people will blame me and they haven't looked at the advice that could be coming up and looking out for that, and actually understanding that karma doesn't come in the form of your love relationship all the time. It comes in the form of a sibling or of a dynamic situation that starts to be created by a human being, right? So just be cautious of energies of what I predict and what I say to you. You will really have to know, okay, these are not really going to be for people that are just used to watching a generic cup and fish and just tend to people's feelings. And no. Is another thing that I will just briefly kick on, Pisces. You are my last sign that I have to do also. Okay, is around tending to someone's feelings and emotions. I really do pick up that someone's very emotional and someone's trying to tend to their feeling and to their emotions. But when you have connections in life that people don't understand around twin flames, is that I am not a twin flame reader because I don't believe in people that started talking about the karmics and like evolving it into shit that really isn't no one's business. And they focus on divine feminine masculine and then like let's look at the karmics and all that sort of shit, and that really brainwashes people, I feel. Okay, but when you have an empathic connection with someone, empathy is about a connection that you have with a human being that leads you to have as a human experience of empathy for everyone and everything. So you are very receptive to energy of everything. Okay, so you could be dealing with a Steve or a Stephen King, but you are very receptive to energies. I'm sorry, I'm probably channeling for myself, but you're very receptive to energies. Okay, and because I'm a Pisces also, but when you learn about empathy, right? And then you learn stabilizing your emotions and your minds and your feelings in order to have empathy for the right sort of energy, because you'll be able to feel your way through dark energy, light energy, what's good for you, what's bad for you. When you become very advanced through twin flame experiences and through drama, you'll realize that there's probably drama school also here, but you'll probably also realize that empathy is actually teaching me to be well connected within energy. And because it is, I can navigate myself through energy of realising that it's not always about my love life. It's about karma, and it's about everybody else that comes at me, and my spiritual experience is really teaching me in order to tap into realising what energy really is, which is everybody. Okay, so it's kind of like this, that people will say, yeah, I'm an empath and everything else, and that, I'm learning an empath, but an empath can be extremely draining, right? Someone that's learning about empathy can be a person that drains you and then says that they're drained. Okay, because that's a drained energy. It's someone that can't get to grips of feminine, masculine energy that drains one person and can't understand through a trigger that they're being triggered through empathy, right? Which is learning and teaching another soul about how to stabilize one's emotions. So then you obviously get polar, which is, oh God, you make me sick. No, you don't. No, you do. Yes, you do. No, you don't. Yes, you do. Libra, Sagittarius. Yes, you do. No, you don't. Yes, you do. No, you don't. You should do this. You blah, blah, blah. Okay, polar opposite, mirrors, triggers, all that kind of thing, right? So empathy really is learned through your experience. And your experience of anything that is spiritual will learn you about empathy, which is everything, right? Which is weather, which is God knows what else of what you can end up predicting or what you feel around planets and the weather. Like people, I just know. I'm a Pisces, right? So I just know, right? So getting people to understand that, what they don't know is what they don't know, right? Which is the better the devil you know. So you could be dealing with a Capricorn for a lot of you, and I just know, I'm hearing that I just know that something is going on behind the scenes, and I just know that it is. Some people have been having this thing of smack talk around like drugs or alcohol, or someone that's been talking stuff and you just know that something is going on but you haven't been told. Like I haven't been told, but I just know that something is going on. No one's really talking about it, no one's really saying it, but I just know that something's going on. Okay, so you've kind of got a lot of this Libra energy of something that's being hidden from a person that is physically going on, that you feel as if you know about, but you haven't been told that, but you just know. It's like, well, to be honest, the better the devil you know is the fact that I already know. So I already know that this is going on. So that's either cheating or something that is going on behind the scenes that you know of, that you're either holding it in and you know, or you just feel compromised and stuck because you can't say anything. So it's like, I can't say anything. Like, what do you want me to say about it? You know, if I talk to you while I'm arguing or while you're aggressive and shit like that, then what on earth is it that you expect me to say to you? Because if you're going to argue, then what do you create? Ego. And it came out very much through the past of Aquarius, but I don't really want to go into that again, Pisces. Just watch the Aquarius reading. It'll probably give you a lot of informative stuff that I was talking about, okay? Sometimes I get very frustrated where I have to talk about the same thing over again when the same lesson is there. Okay, so just my advice would be, you don't have to watch it for popularity, because I'm not bothered about that. It's just that the information that was in the Aquarius reading will probably relate a lot to you of something that was there, okay? It was about empathy and about the same kind of thing. So you kind of got that. But your main messages here, I feel, is something around A&E, Abbey, Abigail, Abbott, something that is biblical. Oh, okay, that will lead me to, if you're not frustrated and you've got a moment, Pisces, your creative side is coming out of you, I really feel. I feel it is a lot to do with Neptune. Neptune's in my first house, that's why I do all of this, mainly. But the placements of Pisces, Scorpio, 12th house, also Scorpio, rising North Node, first house, Neptune, blah, blah, blah. It leaves me open to, like, feeling very receptive, okay? So I don't know if you're going to like this or not, but I'm feeling very biblical at the moment. So if you're part of my Instagram, you would have seen this, but very quickly, and then we'll get on with your reading. That James Bond feeling of Pink Floyd also. Right. It gets very dramatic as it moves through. For some reason it's not working. Vocal is not kicking in, it's a bit long, so I'll leave it at that. But I've got some vocal track there also that's quite good, I feel, but that bit all of a sudden isn't playing. What do you know? So you might be coming up with technical difficulties. I'm hearing something very technical, technique. I'm building my technique, or Meccano set, or Emma, or Emily, or Melissa, Maria, Matilda, Mel. Okay, but I'm feeling something about technique, like I'm trying to perfect my art and perform my life. Okay, so like a performance. Someone could be putting on a performance. Okay, I'm definitely picking up that someone's going to pull a performance of some sort. But I am picking up like, well, that's overacting. I'm picking up like someone, a bit like Jim Carrey. Well, then Jim, Jolien, Juice and Jays, but like an overacting performance. Like I'm going to overact, okay, overreaction, like someone's got Jackie Jackson, but he's going to overreact, like someone that's going to, okay, they're saying someone's going to flip out and overreact. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're overacting, like you're not making any goddamn sense whatsoever. You're overacting, like you're overdoing a performance, you're overdoing it now. Okay, so I don't know what that's going to relate to you, whether it be an ex or your actual sibling or partner. But I'm hearing like someone's overacting, like they're going for an acting career or something, but it's like a performance of overacting, so I don't know what that is. Underground, overground, Wimbledon free. Someone's from Wimbledon, London, divine living in the UK. So someone's from London, but like Wimbledon, from Wimbledon, or Wimbledon, whichever way. But I'm also hearing Jack or Johnson, but there is no other way. There is no other way. There's no other way. There is no other way. I'm sorry, but there's no way. There's no way. Someone's in a same-sex relationship here, because I'm hearing gay. Okay, Gary. I'm hearing Gary or Tina. Gary and Tina. Gary, Tina. Guarantee ya. Or Argentina. Someone's from Argentina or Argent or Urgent. Okay, urgent, urgency, emergency, emergency. I'm really picking up things around the hospital again, if I'm honest. Jen, Julian, Jason, Justin, but like an overperformance or something around it. Because I keep coming up around performance and art, but then I also keep coming up with around well, why do I have to come up with these messages? Okay, I'm picking up that somebody, not everybody, because somebody here is ill. Somebody is ill. But somebody here puts on a performance to say they're ill when they're not. Like they pull tears and say that they're very ill in order to get someone's attention. Now, obviously, if any of you out there here are where someone really is ill, I don't mean you guys. I don't mean you guys. But I keep appealing. I keep trying to appeal. Like for a court situation, I keep having to go for an appeal. I have to keep going to or peeling something, like a potato peeler or an orange peeler or peeling. I have to keep peeling. Or like someone's sunburn or something around a Leo, right? And I keep getting sunburn or burn and I'm peeling because someone's on holiday or the sun. Or someone keeps putting these, like, making out that they're ill. Like they pull a performance to say that they're ill or they're not. Or they put on the tears and it came out through the Aquarius reading. I don't know if I'm picking up on past, present or future here, but I keep picking up that someone keeps like crying, like they keep crying and crying and crying. Now, is this a child or like someone that pulls on a performance and they start crying and you're like, what are you crying about? What are you crying for? Now, like I said, if people here are really physically ill, then they are ill and they're obviously well within their right in order to cry here. But I keep picking up that someone puts on this performance and they just cry. Like all of a sudden they just emotionally break down. Now, like I said, for y'all guys, if there is a funeral of what I predicted and stuff like that, then that's given here, right? But I'm picking up like the unforgiven, like I can't forgive you for that. Or like, will you forgive me? Will you forgive me? Will you forgive me? And someone starts crying for forgiveness and begging for forgiveness here. And I don't know what that's for. Because they're saying that someone puts on this act to start crying to get what they want is why I pick it up that it could well be a child. But I don't know, like, will you ever forgive me? Can you ever forgive me? Well, that came up through Aquarius reading where it was apologetic, like I'm apologising, but I'm crying. Like I'm going to apologise because I'm emotional. So someone's learning about empathy. And what came up in the Aquarius reading was the King. You really need to watch the Aquarius reading, Pisces, because your card was in that. Okay, so regardless, you're going to know somebody that has Aquarius in their chart out of 6 main placements. You will guarantee to know, or the name Gary or Tina, but you will know the fact that somebody has Aquarius in their chart somewhere. Now, Tina, you're obviously watching this channel in the background there, right? So there you go, right? So you ain't going to admit that, but you pretty much are, okay? So Tina, right? So whether you are, whether you're not, I don't really give a shit. But you need to be careful, Pisces, because I don't know, right? I don't know if any of you watched the Patreon message for your month, but it started off with judgment, right? And it started off with the 9 of Wands, where it was a mole that was being implanted into a soul group, right? Now in Aquarius reading, that came up later with Taurus, right? So it was somebody that's in a marriage and a long-standing commitment of marriage, right? Long one. Now because that ended up showing up in the Aquarius reading of either a father, a stepmother, or a stepfather, or a father-mother split up, broke up, divorce, it actually appeared up on a different card in your week in the Aquarius Weekly. But putting the glue together here, because of something that's devastating that has happened, somebody's implanted themselves into a whole group of people, a scenario of a soul group, of implanting fear and narcissism into a place of work or residency where there's going to be people involved. So me, I work for myself, I don't work for people, I work for myself. It's just as difficult as working with people, trust me, it is. Because you always have to work with people somehow, right? But here, some of you, you're going to be working in a place where there's a lot of people. Now, For some of you, it's called a place, which is an old people's residential home, okay, which is obviously maybe called the place or so on and so forth. It might even be a Piscean because of place, right? Now, I'm picking up like the palace, or, well, the palace here used to be a nightclub or a pub. So it could be anywhere that is like a place where there's a pub or something like that, or a nightclub, right? But a club, or people that are joining a club, right? And they're all joining hands. Something to do with that, hands. Hans Zimmer. Oh, that's actually an artist here that does music. Hans Zimmer. He does, well, a bit like that. He does film scoring for film. Hans Zimmer, okay? Very classical music and stuff like that film scores, right? So you might be into music, film scoring. Me, I just run Angel Radio and I do it for free, really. But that kind of thing, you might be into music, film scoring and all that kind of stuff. I'm also hearing film school. I'm going to come off the bit of implanting something. You'll have to watch the monthly if you were part of that. But something to do with film school, or doing some sort of film scoring, or like me, I don't score for films. I just like making my own art film and then scoring music. Well, I make the music and then score the film to the music. This is why you'll probably see Angel Radio if you haven't watched it. I do different flavours of music and then I put the film to the music of the feeling of it. Some people do the film and then they score music to the actual video itself for people and get paid for it. Okay, mine, I prefer to do my own video and just do it for fun here. Because this is my main job, but something to do with like film school or something like that. Film school, drama school, film school, school of rock, but something like that around music. Some of you though, this is very strange around a hospital and stuff like that though. Hospital visit here, because I'm picking up signs of alcohol and stuff like that. Or Al, or Steve. Al, Steve. Tina, you're really watching, aren't you, in the background there? But like, yeah, Al, Steve and Tina. That's the Argentina, or Steve and Tina. Yeah, there you go. There you are, still watching, I'd say. But something like that. In the background, something is going on in the background. Okay, in the background, but you'll have to watch the monthly for May. Okay, how that ended up, because you had Judgment, you had the Nine of Wands, ended up being an argument, split up, broke up. Then that actually reflected differently for something else that started to come up through the month. So, like I said, time changes. When you think you know too much about it, it'll change, because it'll be your karma that you have to go through. So you'll think that it's that, right? It ends up being that, but it ends up being something else later that comes up where it comes in threes. So you end up like, oh shit, it was that. Oh, hold on, now it's that. It's now changed. Spirit will start to change your evolution of your message as you go through it, and you think, oh, I watched that, and now it ended up being the other way around. I thought it was that, but it wasn't. It was that. It's an error of ego. When it stands within one way of pushing, it will actually show you a different message. It'll be the same, but it will show you a different message. Okay. So be aware of how messages can still change within the month or within the week. When you watch them, you're like, oh shit, that did happen. But yeah, that ended up being that message as well. When you look at time, they're a conclusion of quite a few all in one, right? So you kind of add that through your monthly. But something to do with film school, hospitals, orderlies, patients, inpatients, outpatients, getting patients, temperance, losing my patients, losing patients. Okay, so that's like hospitals and things like that. Okay. Someone's getting very temperance, Sagittarius, someone's getting very tempered here, very, very out, like not patient at all. Not patient. I want it now. I want it now. I want it now. I want to know now. I want to know now. It's not going to get you anywhere. Or the other person. Okay. Let's see. Pisces, what's been going on with Pisces? Sun, rising Venus, Jupiter, what's been going on with them? 3. 3. Really? 3 is the magic number. Is it? Is it really? Where do I want to go? Drama school. You're making a drama out of a crisis. Really? just out of that one small little minor arcana card, you made that into a drama. You made a drama out of a crisis. Why did you put on such a performance? Why did you make out that it was something bigger than what it really is, which is a minor arcana card? So you've got energies of where I think it was around Virgo or possible, I don't know, I think it was Virgo, not sure. Sun rising Venus and Jupiter, which is like an overacting performance, which is I put on a performance, but you really made something that is such a minor incident, you made it in such a major thing, or they major, but you made whatever was very minor, you made more out of it than what it was worth. So here I'm hearing, wow, we actually made more out of that than what I thought. So some of you, if you're working and you've got very good energy and your conscience is clear, and you've gone back to the drawing board of work, your conscience is clear where you're like, wow, I actually got more than what I thought. So if there was a funeral or anything in the past and you actually got called to go to to get called in order to see what you've got, whatever it is that you go to see what you've got more than what you expected. So you got more hours, you got more of a job, you got called in to go to an interview. When you got the interview, you got told that you got more hours than what you know, you got more on coming up this month, this week, even though this is the past, you probably got called in. Whatever it is that you've just looked at, you've got more money than what you thought. You've looked at your bank balance or your check and realised that you've got more than what you thought, but you got more than what you bargained for also. So if you went through a dramatic period with a person, they got more than what they bargained for, because they made a drama out of a crisis. They made it more out of than what it really was. It's just a minor arcana card. But because it's 3, it's also a trigger. So you went back to school with a person and taught them a lesson over something that was where, well, it was only really just something that was very minor. But you made that into such a major incident in life, you pulled on a performance. Why on earth did you do that? Why did you pull on the tears? Why did you pull on the brakes? Why did you just go? Why did you make such a drama out of the whole thing when really it should have been so easily accomplished if you'd have just fucking relaxed and gone with the flow? But because you didn't, you turned it into like playing the victim. Victim, aggressor, scapegoat, victim, aggressor, third party energies, any energy. You played the victim, you played the martyr. Martin, the name Martin, Daniel Martin or whatever, but you played the martyr, you played the victim, right? Why play victimhood? Yeah, but it's because of my past. You know that person triggers me off in life, you know. Bollocks. No, Pisces, no. No, nothing relates to past. If it is, you're not living presently, you're not understanding what empathy is. Is normally when you have empathy for yourself and you don't actually give a shit, you'll realise that someone else blames you for not giving a shit for their performance. So why does nobody ever pay attention to me when I want your attention? Because I'm not really bothered, because I have empathy for myself. I have more respect for myself to listen to somebody that goes to drama school, that makes a drama out of a crisis. I ain't got time to listen to all that shit, right? So you go back to these energies where someone makes a drama out of a crisis and makes more than what is worth, and like, fuck me, well I know my worth. My worth isn't really just to stand around looking at all of this stuff that really doesn't make any sense. You're not making any sense. You're not making any money, or you're not making any sense whatsoever. So what's the point, right? So someone might be giving up something around financial job or something like that and going for something else, or going for another person, or going for another job. But someone was going for gold in the drama queen situation of making more out of it than what it was. And what they realised, they got more than what they bargained for, which is if you play the martyr and if you play the fool and you try to trick me and make me think that it's me, I'm just going to reflect it back to you, where you realise, yeah, but it's everybody else, it's things that happened in my past, it's my ex, I got trapped very badly when I was young. Fuck, bollocks, no, forget it, move on, you know, because people in life, when their ego is intact within the scapegoat, victim, aggressor, when they play the victim, when your ego is intact within 3, you'll start to get blamed for everybody else but me. Like, it's everybody else but me. So because it's everybody else, right, I'll start then connecting to low vibrations, which is, oh my God, you remind me so much of my ex. You remind me so much of my children when they had a go at me. You remind so much of everybody that puts on such a performance in life that you're now trying to get me to attend to your need. And because I can't, you're now bringing up the past. What, are you a domino train? Right? Or are you coal train? Right, so, you know, what are you trying to pull? The wool over my eyes, or what are you, woolly? But what are you trying to do? You know, what are you trying to prove? Because this is innocent before proven guilty, right? So you're making me feel guilty with a guilty conscience. You're trying to make me feel as if I've got a guilty conscience. How the hell is that? I might be a gill and I might be a fish, but you know what, bruv? I can breathe under fucking water, right? And I can't breathe when you're smothering me to death. Makes me feel like I'm a fish out of water on a bank of like, oh, I'm just a fish out of water. Right? So I need to breathe, man. If you're going to smother me with energy and make me feel as if I'm accountable for your own actions, well, then you need to be accountable for them. Right? So you've kind of got this bit here where somebody probably played a victim in life and started telling you that you're supposed to be accountable for all the shit that they probably didn't tell you right from the beginning of the domino train. Right, so everything was building up in my head. I was going over it and analysing it, and now pretty much you feel like you're in a courtroom drama situation where it's kind of like, well, whose fault is it? Right? What are you blaming? That your childhood was shit, or that everything else was bad? Or when on earth are you ever going to really forget that? Because then someone can play a victim and start to make you believe that you're to fault for what happened to a person. Nobody in your future is ever to blame for whatever happened to a person in their past, whether they had kids, children, whether they were abused or what. You can't ever blame a future person for what happened to an individual. You can do that all day long, but I guarantee it won't get you anywhere, because all you'll do is blame everybody else in a low vibration for my shortcomings and my outcomings. And what happens is basically you go back to drama school, you go back to the school of rock, you get ticked off through retrograde, and what you do realise is really it's just a planet that makes you do that. So why do you do that? Yeah, well, I'm going crazy, blah, blah, blah. It's a planet that's making you do that, so why are you blaming me? Because the planet is controlling you, so you're controlling. What, because of a planet? What planet are you on, bruv? Mars? Right? So then you get like, I can't. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do with you? Number 2, flush it. You probably did, right? But it's a 3, but it came from a 2, right? So I'm going to force your hand to make a decision and make you feel uncomfortable that you have to go. It's like work. It can also be nerves going for a job interview, right? But it can also be like, man, I just know damn well that you're trying to make me feel as if I have to make a decision that I don't want to, right? Could be relating to the Aquarian. What's been going on with Pisces? What's been going on with Pisces? What's been going on with Pisces? Ooh, everybody's... Oh no, everybody isn't in reverse. Everybody... Just one card is in reverse out of all these cards, really. The King of Wands, a tactic. Using sex as a tactic. This can also be a sociopath. Somebody that uses emotions and feelings against you in order to bend you to their will, which can be using sex. It can be using any kind of implement within life in order to make you feel accountable for your own actions. This is a big sociopath energy here, King in reverse. It can be someone that manipulates your emotions to make you feel as if you're accountable for, well, this is Leo for me, but if this is a Leo, because it could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, in the soul group, family also, X. But if this is a Leo in reverse, they turn timid. So they become intimidated by no confidence, a lack of strength, a lack of confidence. Because they don't have confidence, they can make you feel as if you're accountable for them having lack of confidence that they can't do it. So they try to get you to do it for them. So through a tactic of this, of being a sociopath, it can be someone that's inwardly sociopathic, right? Which means that I don't have any confidence. And if I don't have confidence, and I don't have all of this in order to speak up and say something, I'll hold all of that energy in and then blame you for it for stuff of a domino train. Which is that this has been accumulating over some time and I never said about it, but now I am. Well, what did you get? More than what you bargained for here. Right. So you've kind of got this person here that used their card in the lowest vibration, which means that if that is a Leo, Aries or Sagittarius, they were using their low self in order to connect with you, which means that when you're connected via a person of empathy, you don't have empathy, you don't show feelings for someone that is trying to get your feelings, trying to get your attention, because this can be a big attention seeker, and you're not going to get my attention that way, because what you will get is detention. You'll go back to school, right? So you're trying to get my attention. I don't give attention to attention seekers, right? If you're seeking attention, trust me, I'll know, right? So you're trying to put on a performance to try and get me in order to bend over things for your will. Well, not so easily, Hozo, right? Ozo or Zoe or Zozo. Some of you are probably worshipping the devil. But like worship, the worship. I'm hearing worshipping Capricorn, or worshipping the devil, which is a bishop. It's a worshipper. So it's someone that's very religious. This could also be someone that's Jewish or something like that, but the worship, the bishop, okay? But can be like a God-forsaken person that believes in spiritual, but not spirits, God, right? So it's someone that could, like I said, Jewish or something like that. And because I'm picking up a strong religious background here, has a strong background of something, okay, here. And things have not been going in this person's favour. So it feels like that you have to go through all of this. Like, I have to get through the family. I have to get through your conditioning. I have to get through your family. You have to go through your family heritage. You have to say that it's your family. It's because of your mother. It's because of your brother. It's because of your ex. It's because of everything else. It's always someone else, but it isn't ever you, is it? It's always the fact that you'll always bring up that it was something to do with your father that done this. Or it was always something, or done, Putchy, there you are. But it's always someone else that does it. It isn't me. It's my ex that caused all of this. It's all the trauma that I received when I was a child that this happened. No, it isn't. A human being during times of ego will only ever then bring up the fact that it's someone else. When things are okay, they will never, ever, ever, when they're feeling very good and happy, they will never walk around saying, oh my God, this is something that happened in my childhood. But they'll only ever say that when ego is attached, because they'll attach it to something. Well, I've got to blame something, and if I can't blame you, I've got to blame someone else, and I've got to blame something else. And if I can't blame you, then I'm going to fool you and trick you into saying that I've had such a hard life. I've had a hard knock life. So I want you to feel sorry for me. And if you don't feel sorry for me, then why don't you? Do you get me? Or is this hurting people's feelings? Can people not actually physically listen to that? Because if you ain't, then you might as well go to someone else that's going to tend to them. Because you'll not get anywhere. If you're not prepared to listen to truth and accept what that is about oneself in order to change it, y'all can go around a million different tarot card readers if you like, but you'll still come up against the same conclusion. So y'all can either blame me for it or not. But I'm actually channeling people's aggression as well, right, here. So you either listen up or somewhere else, right, here. But these are people that can use things against you of abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, drug addiction. Okay, these are people that can make up stories to say that they're physically, mentally abused and they never have been. Right? And fuck it, is out there. People that use tactics to say I was mentally abused, I was physically abused. Trust me, I know people out there that are also Pisces that used to say to me, look, I've got bruises all on my arm. They haven't. I guarantee you the man that I see 2 weeks later was black and blue with fucking like bruises all up his face with a black eye and everything else. Who was that did that? A psychopathic Pisces. Not kidding. Right? Here. Someone that can pull on a performance to say, oh look, everybody... Really? Right? On a karma level, or Carmel or Karma, well they are, there's karma for you. Right? But on a karma level, this is someone that can just lose their shit and start pulling on a performance to make you feel guilty. Right, guilty with charged, right? Because it's also court, but it's also karmic law, right? So it means that I'm going to make you feel guilty for stuff that you did. So I'm going to bring up the past to make you feel guilty for it, for something that you may not have done wrong. They'll tell you that you've done something wrong. They'll bring up a list of demands of all of these things that you've done wrong to them. Okay, so a victim mentality. Somebody that uses a martyrdom, uses victim mentalities to get everybody to feel sorry for them in life because they've had such a hard one. You know. So if this is happening in a partnership, then, well, you don't need to be in a partnership. You probably need to be in Noah's Ark for a little while, maybe. I don't know. But, well, luckily, Pisces, calm down, Stephen. You're having a go at us. Sorry, Pisces. Right? But here, you know, these are people that also go to marriage counselling. Once trust is broken, right? Once trust is broken, it's a very hard thing to actually give over my free will in order to give you another chance, right? one chance after another chance after another chance have I given you to prove that you've done it again, right? That this has happened yet again. Have I given you another chance in order for you to do that again? So why do you do that? Why is it that you always blame everybody else in your life or something else and then start to blame me for your own misfortune here? When things don't turn out right the way you expect it, why can you not do that yourself here? Well, you're selfish. You don't show me love. No. No. I show it with action. In the upright. I've got actions, right? So what you done and what you said was proven within actions because you took it too far. You ended up fucking saying more than what you should have done, which is keep your mouth shut in court, stop grassing people up, or like stop talking bullshit or smack. Because this can also be a heroin addict, right? Also, so I'm picking up that people are talking smack and talking shit behind people's back, or taking out some kind of smear campaign to make people believe or think that someone else is accountable for what has now happened with this person here, right here, on another message here. It might be making this person feel guilty that they have to stay. That they have to stay. Because there's an energy here of like, well, you're stuck with me, you're going to have to stay now because you're a part of a contract and you're not getting out of it, you've got to stay, right here. So if you've got an energy of blame, someone then started using a tactic to say, well, I'll leave you, I'll promise you that I will go, if you do this again, I will go, I'll leave, honestly, I'll walk out, I won't come back anymore. Victim mentality. They put you in a 2, which is like give you an ultimatum. I know there's a 3 there, but it's basically a 2 before it. So it's like put you in an ultimatum and put you in a very difficult situation to force your hand to make a decision. If you don't, I'll threaten your behaviour to make you feel as if you're accountable for your own actions and make you feel awful for it, and then I'll leave. Right. So they come in, they cause drama, blame you for a victim mentality to make you feel accountable for whatever happened, and then leave. Threatening. Because this can all be going on at court. Right here. Threatening. I threaten to take you to court. I threaten you to do this. I threaten you that. Blah, blah, blah. So on and so forth. Threats. Death threats. Or any threat whatsoever. Right? Somebody that makes somebody feel very uncomfortable. You're like, what the fuck are you coming out with now? Like, oh, I can't move forward because I'm getting death threats from people. Bro, someone could have fucking well lost their mind here. Unless it's physically happening. You know. Let's see what's been going on with Pisces. The only card in that deck that I didn't know of in reverse, and it was that one. The only one. This is another one. But Pisces, if they come up in reverse, I keep them. 5 of Swords. You see? Mind games, tactics, sociopath. Or a learning manipulative empath that loses their shit and connects it with their past father. It was my father that did it. It's because I haven't got one. I haven't got a mum. Or sorry if people that are abandoned out there, but trust me, your future isn't created by abandonment. It's just a tarot card reader that keeps saying fear of abandonment, right? Is because a person that goes through 5 of ego, when they've got a large ego, they'll get very pissed off and angry, and you'll see them going, God, I am getting so fucking angry that you won't do what I want you to do. And because you won't, the only thing I can ever bring up is the past. It's the only thing I can ever make you feel accountable for, is by making sure that you understand, young man, that my head is fucked because you're making me think of all of these bad things that happened in my past. Move on. Move on. How long's a piece of string? How long do you want to keep believing that your future is created by your past? It isn't. It only happens in time of ego. I bet no one ever brings that shit up when they feel great in life, do they? They only feel that way when their ego's intact. They can't get through to a person. They can't get them to understand why you will not do what I want you to do. And because you've done that, all I now think of is a low vibration. Through that, I'll start thinking of, well, it's got to mean something. That brings up a memory of me being that way when I was a child. It will define your life here. The more you keep connecting and blaming everybody else for what was already been done, what has already happened. Trust me, I've fucking had people that have killed themselves nearly in front of me, and people that I've lost, and God knows much stuff in my life that I would never really indulge in on here. But Jesus Christ, do I not think of any of that. I don't never ever bring that up to a person to, you know, well, I don't know, Putchy, he was a fucking trick and a half, bruv, he was. But, you know, in a relationship, I will never look at a person and say, oh my God, you reminded me so much of what happened when I was a kid. You remind me so much of what happened with my brother. You remind me so much of what happened in my last relationship. I never do that in a relationship, for God's sake. Right? I never tell someone that you're triggering them off because you remind me of a past partner. No, not now. Jesus. But you see, these people that can use sex as a tactic, somebody that is that sexually blocked, they deny somebody sex, right? Which means that I'll turn you on and everything else, but I'll deny you. I'll call you in and lead you down the garden path to make you believe that there is something in it, but there really isn't. And I can control you through sex. I can control you through sex, right? Which means that I can call you in when I want it, and then I can throw you away when I don't. There's also a sociopath, okay? And then someone that will try to make you feel sorry. Like, you have to say sorry. You have to say sorry for your behaviour, right? Meaning that I want loads of attention. Everybody else has got to focus on me, because a sociopath can do that externally with everybody. Like, I love the limelight and everybody has to be watching me, right? Everybody has to be looking at me, and I have to make a scene in front of loads of people, generally loads of people. I have to make them, and I have I go against the rules, basically. But an inward sociopath can do that inwardly to make people apologise for their behaviour. So I want you to apologise to me because I'm emotional and God knows what else, and I'll get you to apologise. And if you don't apologise, I will leave. Sociopath. Okay. Well, in my eyes, there's a difference of opinion of the apaths, right? Which is empaths, sociopaths, psychopaths, narcissism, control. It all kind of relates with the same energy of trying to bend someone to their will by using a tactic that is underhanded. That's what's in reverse, right? Underhanded tactics, right? Which means that I'll come up with fucking any scenario in life in order to get you to do what I want, right? I can use my sexiness and everything else to get what I want and my look, and then when I've got it, I'll deny you because I'm so good looking that I'll just deny you with everything that I've got, and you want to make yourself feel lucky that you've got me. Be in a relationship with that person and get married and see how you get on with your look, right? With your look. Looks fade. Trust me, when you're looking at it, you think, oh, gosh, dick, eye, bruv, take a look at that, right? Wow, I'm drooling like fucking Homer Simpson, right? I'm dripping like a fuck fridge, right? You get in a relationship with a person like that. All of those little things that looked okay aesthetically suddenly start to like, oh God, you fucking annoy the shit out of me. You really do. You're really starting to push my buttons now and make me feel sick. How good is good looking then to a person, right? How good is that then? Because here is also someone that may be making someone feel accountable for how they look. So it could be both, right? Here. That I go off and base everything off my look, right? And I'm Miss Tuffety or Mr. Tuffety, and I basically base everybody off that you have to be good looking in order to be with my crew, right? Or it can be someone that puts someone down because of how they look. Because of how they look. Somebody in the family might say, you're not going to get anybody. Who do you think you are? You're not ever going to be any good. You're not going to get anywhere in life. Right? By your look, by your standards, you haven't got any education. Who the fuck do you think you are? Peasant. Really? That's on a dramatic scale. It depends on who you're dealing with here, you know. But a sociopath can also be a person of residency at a job or a pub even, right? And then start throwing their credit card around with everybody, trying to get everybody to realise how wealthy and great that I am, and that everybody now has focused their attention upon me because of how great I am, and the greatest, whoever sung that, whatever his name was, right? And that I am so great and that I want everybody else to look at me, right? But really, right? Now I've got everybody's attention focused on me, I can set out to do my greatest plan of an energy within what was in your monthly reading, of a narcissist that's within the soul group of somebody within a place of work or a pub here, to get to everybody's attention focus on them, to destroy what goes on at work here. A mole, a spy also, right? Someone that likes to set out to destroy people's career, right? You think I don't know that one, right? Somebody that likes to set out to destroy people's career, that gets them that uncomfortable in life, that gets them to quit their job because I can't cope with that one person that's at work. They're so fucking annoying, they're so controlling, that you're now making me quit my job to go and find another one because I can't bear everybody that's around me. A narcissist in a soul group, probably a boozer in a pub here, right? Or at work, someone that you work with, very controlling at work. This is why I'm so grateful the fact that I am at home here. But again, somebody that's at work, right, making your life hell, making your life hell. Right. The energy here has got very dense, right? But trust me when I tell you, this is happening in your soul group. This is happening of anywhere that you work, even if this is behind the scenes that you don't know of. It's happening at your work. Because this can be people that don't express what their major plan is of what they're really doing behind the scenes, right? So it can be people of residency. It can be even people on here when I do this. These people in the background here, fighting over something that isn't said, but they're doing things like this behind the scenes here. It's unbelievable to an energy that can figure that out within themselves, that they know, but trying to get other people to know what may be going on isn't never really said or explained, because it just happens behind the scenes. So people never really admit their true intentions, and because they never admit their true intentions of what they really are after, you've got both of these cards here in reverse around your place of work here. Okay, what is done to another. What is done to a mother is shown upon oneself, to a person. Right? I show you yourself, right? You showed me up. You make me feel awful. You showed me up. What time have we got? Holy shit, Pisces. Okay, so I was going to do a few more cards of the past, but I think I've given you quite a few messages there. If you are interested in your future readings, I have to earn a living. I'm sorry, but I really do. This is where I will do your future reading from the 1st to the 7th, okay? I have to keep both going. YouTube really is just a platform for me to hopefully try and get paid, okay? It's the only job I have. I can't quit this because I'd have to get another job, then I can't do this. I can't do both, okay? So if you would like to join, or any kind of like, share, comment, subscription, or donation, or anything like that, it would be very much appreciated. But as usual, you get you got one reading over there already. Everything goes to the full access bundle at the moment, okay? But you got a monthly over there. You get 4 weeklies that also go over there. So this one, another one, and then you obviously get the monthly that comes out for the next month that also comes out, that goes over there as well. But if you know the channel, you know it. But it does explain it in the video below. If you want to join Patreon, watch the video first, and it will explain a lot about what I do, okay? But at the moment, this goes to the full access bundle as well as the others, and I will draw you a weekly spread and see what are the good do's and don'ts, what to expect, what could be coming up, energies around work, feelings, emotions, manipulation, if there is any, whatever comes up will be within your weekly reading. And if you want to join, you can, and it's over on Patreon. You can find all the links provided below. Okay, all right, Pisces, thanks very much, and have a good week, and I will see you next.